GM, and welcome back to another episode of WoW Wednesday. WoW Wednesday, for those of you who don't know, is a weekly community spotlight that World of Women does in order to showcase the talent within our community and to just make sure that you're all getting to know each other better. We're doing this in collaboration with Humans of WoW, which is a community initiative that's focused on humanizing the person behind the PFP. And today we're spotlighting Tal. Tal is one of our most active community members. I think a couple of days ago she was at a WoW LA meetup. Before that she was at the WoW Gala, and one of my fave dressed members for sure. I'm going to pass the mic to her to quickly introduce herself and tell us more about her. But personally, I'm a huge fan. We connected a while ago, and she's just this insanely talented entrepreneur and Web3 personality that I look up to.
Good morning. You hear me well? Is that good? All right. Good morning. Good morning. So good to be here. You know, World of Women are one of my first ever collections that I purchased. You know, I mean, I saw them when I just came into the space, and it's one of my favorite ever NFT that I keep in my wallet, and it's still there, and I have the original WoW and the Galaxy and everything that you guys can bring to the table. I'm in. So very humbled and very happy to be here today.
Good morning and happy WoW Wednesday. Thanks so much for being with us, Tal. So great to have you. Kashvi, do you want to start off with the first hard-hitting question?
Yeah, I'm going to start off. I'm just making sure that we're sharing this link so that more people can join in. Give me a sec.
Just to tell you in the meantime that your event at the Art Basel was skyrocketing. It was so good. I had so much fun. I had so much fun meeting you ladies and meeting everyone there, you know, at the event. And it's just been really my highlight of all the week. So thanks for doing it.
Oh, that is super, super sweet.
So I have to ask, did you get your dress custom made?
No, let me tell you the story of this dress. So the dress, it has two pieces. It has literally, I went to a designer to take the top part, and I didn't know what to put it on. Usually you wear this top part. It's very transparent. So women wear it with a bathing suit. But obviously I wouldn't do that. So I went to a store next to it, and in $20, I bought myself a dress. You know, it's literally a dress that I just found there, but the whole piece, it's a piece that Jennifer Lopez wore it for one of her events or shows or something. And so it was a nice mix of simple and prestige, which is kind of symbolized World of Women and myself. So it was a great combination. And thanks.
Yeah, I adore the outfit. And I remember seeing you walk on the purple carpet, and I was like, wow, this is how you do galas, right? So I really appreciate the effort that went into putting that outfit together, because you guys are the ones who truly lit up the event.
I left the hotel. I was like, am I really going to wear this thing on the street? Am I going down the stairs and taking a cab, going to the event with this type of dress? But I was like, okay, I just shared it on the link above. But anyway, it was a great event, regardless the dress or not. The event was hosted amazing people. Everyone were looking amazing. It's not about my dress. Everyone were stunning, and the food and the place and everything was super great curated.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that you had a good experience. But let's backtrack a little bit. How did you first find out about World of Women? What was your initial exposure to it, and what made you want to join the community?
Well, World of Women, first of all, I have been a women advocate for many years. I've been working with women since very young age. I've been volunteering in a lot of women shelters and women supporting educational centers in different places, a lot in Israel, but also not only. Israel is just easier when I used to live there. And then I moved to US, and I worked with a lot of individuals to help them build their online presence, their online business, because I've been doing marketing for 17 years. And I've been working with small businesses and with entrepreneurs, and especially with women. It's my forever desire to work with. Obviously, that's why I have this nonprofit that we have today, but we'll talk about it probably later. Also supports women, but everything related to women is like, it's like very important to me and very dear to my heart. And when I saw World of Women, obviously it was, first of all, one of the first amazing collections out there of NFT. When I just joined the NFT world, like I think 2021, the beginning of it or something, and World of Women were there as one of the only women-led projects at the beginning, and I had to support it immediately. So I literally bought, I think I bought two, sold one, I think, or maybe I just bought one. I don't even remember. It was so long ago. So many NFTs went through my wallet since, but I always kept my World of Women. And I also love the community. I love the leadership. I love the community. I love everything that you guys are doing. If it's, talking on spaces and taking the time to empower women like you do right now, and creating those events. And yeah, this PFP, it's part of my identity as NFT investor, NFT holder, and NFT enthusiast. And being a woman in the space, it's something that is rare. So I'm very proud of all you guys are doing.
I adore that so much. And I know that your comment about being a woman in this space is rare comes from your long-standing experience in other industries as well. You were the first person to set up a social media university in Israel. And I think that that's really something. And I would love to dive a little deeper into it and the story behind how that happened, what was your role, and the like the passion with which you just did it.
Of course. Well, I've been doing, as I said, marketing since 2006. And on 2011, I established the first college in Israel for social media. But it was after I already established my first company when I was 21 in 2001 in New York. And then right after, it was in 2005, I'm sorry, I launched my second company, which was a kite surfing equipment dealership. And that was actually my opening door for the social media world, where I actually built a business from scratch by learning by myself to do HTML and CSS and graphic design and all those things that I've learned as I go. And also I've learned marketing by, autodidact online, or reading different magazines, or there wasn't a lot online then. It was really the beginning of it. But that's how I've learned everything by myself. And I think that establishing this college was one of the leading things for me in life that enabled me to open minds of others to that situation. And so the opening this college has been an open mind for a lot of people who did not believe or understood what is Facebook, what is the social media in general in Israel at the time. And I was one of the first ones to understand this. And I remember one of the interviews, people actually mocked me or laughed at me for opening a university for Facebook. Like, who's going to study about Facebook? Who cares about that? It's like, why are you wasting your time? And, here we are today. And it was a huge success at the time. I had really big companies working with us, like Coca-Cola and the electricity company in Israel, and the news in Breslev, and restaurants, and like all the big companies came to us. And I had 20 teachers, like 20 people who are the top not today of the social media in Israel. So it was good experience. Also, it ended up, I sold the company. It wasn't a huge exit because I had issues with the partners, but it was an amazing experience, amazing university for myself. So I just told Kashvi, I did not get to go to really do a full university when I was younger, to be in a college or university, because of different things that life took me into. But I created a university, and that was for me also a type of life is university. Life is a college for all of us. Every day is a new lesson. So it was a good one.
It's iconic. It's not just good. It's iconic. The fact that you didn't get to live the whole university experience for yourself, but you wanted to create that for others, and especially like young women in Israel, says a lot about your character. So Thank you for sharing that story. I think it's super special.
Yeah, thanks for asking about it.
We often say that just spending time in the space, like many of us have been here, or the three of us, I guess, since the beginning of WoW, pretty much, and just spending time in the space is like putting in our dues towards like a university degree. And as a woman in the space, what kind of opportunities do you think that Web3 provides for others who are pursuing their passions?
You talking about women specifically? Sorry.
Oh, women, yeah, and Web3. Like, how does Web3 as an avenue provide opportunities?
Well, Web3 has opened so many opportunities for so many people and in so many levels. It enables, the peer-to-peer transactions. So a lot of people who have no access to bank accounts or have no way to withdraw money for themselves are now able to get money in a different way, in a decentralized way. And there's so many benefits and opportunities on this space, also for women and also for people in general from different places where they have harder time to live their lives. And I just see it on that. I have a nonprofit that deals with women in need, and we help them through the blockchain. So women who have no access to financial support now have we are able to transfer their money and able to sell their art through the blockchain, and not just in the conventional ways on a gallery or physical places where it's hard for them to reach and be there. So what we do, we collect their art and we sell it through the blockchain, and it enables them to have financial support and to have emotional support, knowing that they're not just creating art, but they're actually selling them, and they are able to finance their families and their loved ones. And this is just one example. I mean, there are more than 1.7 billion people in the world with no access to bank accounts, which is a crazy amount of people. And the blockchain actually can change the whole game. It's also amazing for freedom of speech. As we all know, so many places, like you can see in Iran or in different places where they block the Instagram or block the access to social media platforms, or anywhere in the world, the social media platforms can disable you, can stop your activity, can shut you down, block you, do whatever they want, because they have the control on all the platforms. And it's been controlled by those giant tech companies who are controlling everything in few servers around the world. When we're talking about Web3, it's decentralized space where no one will tell you what to say, what to sell, how to do it, what to show. You can be yourself, you can do what you want, and you own your data, which is one of the most important components. When on Web 2, you have a lot of those, again, giant companies like Facebook or Google or Microsoft, who are now owning your data and have an ownership on your data and are able to sell whatever they want to advertisers and to do whatever they want with your data. And they basically control the narrative of our lives and our thoughts and our whatever we consume and see. And that's different in Web3. When Web3 comes, you're not only able to consume and share content, but you also own it. And no one else can own it, and you can do whatever you want with it. So those opportunities and those things are so different than what we used to see. And I think that the world still don't get it, doesn't understand all those amazing benefits that are going to change this world. I do believe that we're in about like a few years from, I don't know, a few years, and I cannot know when, but I do believe that this world need Web3, and this is going to do a tremendous change in the world. That's why I'm so deep in this, and I hope my kids will enjoy decentralized, space and life and opportunities as well.
I adore that. I love that you're driven by the fact that you want to create a decentralized future for your children. That line stuck out to me. Like, you're doing this not just for our current generation, but for everyone that's coming after us. That is huge. And I want to point out that this was a very articulate description of how Web3 brings freedom to creators and artists. It feels like you've been doing this for a while. You've been championing for artists like frequently, I would say. But tell us a little bit about your journey with public speaking. I've seen you kill it on panels and just, do a lot of podcasts and be super articulate about how you feel about the space. Tell us where that comes from and whether it's something that you were born with or it has just naturally improved through loads and loads of practice.
Well, I think that first of all, not everything you're born it's everything that you're born with. It's a blessing, but if you don't practice, you don't win this. Like you need to always practice on everything that you receive in life. And I think that since a very young age, I was a very confident, self-confidence with a girl. Always believed in myself. I guess I was born to great parents who pushed me and gave me the tools, but I was always showing in front of their friends with a little skirt, doing dancing. I used to be a dancer, and I used to perform, and I used to sing in a choir in school, and also in a band. I had a band, and I had a band that's dancing and singing and all kind of those things since a very young age. And I've been very business driven as well since a very young age. I've been working since I'm 6 years old. I've been doing babysitters. I was painting and walking around the neighborhood and selling it for like $1, and until my mom caught me and she's like, what are you doing? I just wanted to make my own money since I was very young age, and cleaning the building, my building, like the house, and all kind of work jobs that I found for myself. So I was very independent, very entrepreneurial, and very have a lot of self-confidence in myself, and etc. But again, speaking, it's not just happening in one day. And by the way, I started speaking English much better. English is not my native language, which is also a barrier for me. And I used to speak a lot in Hebrew on big stages in Israel. But then I started on 2011 to speak outside of Israel on different stages. And my English was not my base language, my native language. So the fact that I started to go on Clubhouse, actually, I mean, with the years, I became better and better. But since I went on Clubhouse on 2021, I think it's 2021. I think it's like 2 years or 3 years almost. And Twitter Spaces, obviously. And in general, to do more and more webinars and conversations when I was outside of Israel, my English became better and my confidence on stage became better. And but basically, when you know what you're saying, then you just go with the flow. You don't need a presentation. I heard it's a quote. Someone said, "If you need a PowerPoint, you have no power and no point." So you need to. I don't know where I saw it recently. I quote someone, I don't remember who. But if you know what you're saying, you can just talk for hours, as I do. You'll have to shut me up.
That's hilarious. You have no power and you have no point. Yeah, I think Clubhouse is a pretty iconic platform. I think it was the first pioneer in audio networking and audio community building. I know that we're speaking on Twitter Spaces right now, and that makes it kind of ironic, but huge credit to Clubhouse. That's how I started learning about NFTs as well. Like I was joining these rooms that had NFT on the label and just popping in, listening about the tech. And over to Michelle, though. I know she has a question.
Oh, no, I'm impressed. And, you starting being a little entrepreneur at 6 years old, it reminds me a lot of my son. He's the same exact way. So I'm excited to see where he goes. But, you built multiple businesses. It seems like you have a natural zest for adventure. Like you are a kite surfer, which is quite adventurous and quite dangerous, actually. You've lived in different countries. You've uprooted your life and moved to various ages. Now that you're, grounded in LA and building your business, how do you make time still for that adventure and not to lose sight of that? Is it more difficult these days, or how do you make time for it?
First of all, I'm not sure you mentioned it, but I have 2 children. I have 2 babies at home. I'm a mother of 9 months old now and 3 years old. So basically, I must say that it's not a simple task to multitask all that. But it's very satisfying. And I always thought, I'm going to have children. I'm never going to have time for anything, because I already didn't have time for anything because I'm doing a lot of things all together. But I think since when you have priorities, it's all about putting priorities. It's all about deciding what's more important for you and what do you dedicate time to more. And also you use a calendar and you use time, you chop the day to times and you decide what you do and when. I know that every morning from when we wake up, I'm up all night with a 9 months old that doesn't sleep yet, but we wake up around 5 or 6 in the morning, and I'm with the kids until 8:30 when my daughter is going to school, and I have a babysitter coming to help with the boy. And from 9 o'clock, I work until afternoon until like 4, and then during that work time, I create the time for everything that I need for the nonprofit, for my business, for my clients, and I sometimes make time for myself, which I need to be more consistent in that. But now with 2 babies, it's okay to have a small fraction of time in life when you don't have time to yourself, and that's okay, to my opinion, as long as I'm aware of it and I know that it's going to come back, because I used to work out every day. But anyway, and then at 4 o'clock, my children are coming back from school at 4:30. My daughter is coming back. I'm 100% with her and my son until 7:30 at the evening when they go to sleep. And then, I start to work again, and sometimes work out, sometimes work, sometimes time with a hobby, maybe watching something, very rarely watching something. But when we have time, we both working very hard. But it's all about priorities, and my kids will always be my priorities. And everything else will have to stop or hold or wait, especially when there's holidays, and there are holidays all the time. Like a day off, and then a week after 2 days off, and then a week after a week off, and then it's like crazy. Those who have our parents know. I see you smiling, and yeah, and it's very challenging. But I love challenges, and they don't frighten me, and it's part of life. And I'm very grateful to be able to do all that while I'm raising kids. I know that it's not simple. Somehow I also fly a lot. So I fly, I'm pumping milk and I breastfeed. I still do as of today. It's like 9 months, but I'm flying once a month, more or less, or once in 2 months, to speak on different places and to be involved. And it's all about, also how do you delegate? So we have a great nanny or a great babysitter that I picked very well, and I mean, I picked very well. I was lucky to find someone good. That's the word. And I have a great partner in life who is supporting me, and he's here when I am away. And the opposite as well. He has work. He has his own millions of things. He's also an entrepreneur. And yeah, we both friends, partners, and managing life together. It's a whole business to run life. You need to have a good partner.
Your relationship goals, mom goals, work goals. Like, as a Gen Z, I'm feeling super inspired by like how you have everything together, but you're also open to acknowledging the fact that sometimes you don't have it all together. Sometimes you're sacrificing for the sake of your kids because that's what you do for the people that you love. I want to backtrack.
Kashvi, I'm just 100%. I'm not 100% on everything. Just so you know, there are a lot of downs, it's not like everything is just doable. Everything is doable. You have to remember to balance. You have to remember to know how to downgrade a little bit the business or something else for your kids. Sometimes I have meetings I have to cancel, or things I can't show up, or events I'm missing because I have the children. But it's all about how grateful you are of all this. So, okay, I missed this, so I don't have this. I even cannot take this new client, which I want, because I have no time for him. And that's okay. That's okay, because children always will come first, but always be grateful, even if you're not accomplishing everything that you want. And that's the secret. That's it.
When it comes to gratitude, there's this one quote. I don't know if you know where you said this, but our community member, Bach, who is the co-founder of Humans of WoW, he wrote this down specifically for me. And he was like, you know what, in one of your questions to Tal, I want you to mention it. And it's about gratitude. At some point, you said that you are a big believer in life and in gratitude. You love what you do. And you know that if you can do it, anyone can. And you've truly been embodying that through all of your work in Web3 and by providing a platform to artists, connecting them to other projects, to galleries. I've seen it personally myself. But let's backtrack a little bit. You said you fly a lot and that you've been traveling quite a bit. You've lived in different countries. Tell us a little bit about that experience and your favorite travel story.
Well, I'm gonna do it very fast, like chapters of my life. So I was born in New York. I grew up in Israel. When I was 21, I left Israel. I moved to New York. I lived in New York for 3 years, and then I took a backpack. I went to India. I traveled in India from north to south, all India by myself, alone. Did really literally almost every city. It was an amazing experience. India is part of who I am today, for sure. So that's why I love you even more, Kashvi. And I met so many amazing people and learned so much. And then I moved back to New York and I met someone on MySpace. MySpace came to the world. It was 2006. I met someone started to speak to me on MySpace, and he proposed me to meet. And, I saw that he has pictures of Caribbean islands. Okay. And then we started to chat I replied to him, and we started to chat on emails for like a few days. And after a few days, we jumped on a Skype call. And when we talked on the Skype, I barely saw him, but I told him, listen, man, I don't know who you are. I don't know where the island you live on, Anguilla, something in the Caribbean islands, but I'm coming. And he said, oh, oui, okay. He was a French guy. He lived in a Caribbean island named Anguilla in French. And I took a flight. I told my sister, listen, I'm flying to this island. It's not even on the map. It's that tiny. It's like half an hour from side to side. But I'm flying there. If I'm not calling you in 3 days, tell mom that I'm on this island near Saint Martin, named Anguilla, and call the police. Okay, do something. I don't know what's going to happen. So I flew to this island. I landed in an port the size of like my office here, like a size of a coffee shop. And then I saw, some people, local people, but then I saw this guy. He was a good-looking guy, looked like a Greek god, like with long hair, blue eyes, tall, tattoos. That I'm like, what's going on here? And long story short, we fell to each other, fell in love. Long story short, moved to live there. That's where I established my company for kitesurfing equipment dealership. We got married on the beach. He was actually my second husband. We were married for 5 years. We lived in the Caribbean island for 3 years, like Tarzan and Jane, completely alone on this tiny island, where I built this business and made money of it and traveled the world. And then again, long story short, I moved to Florida, lived there for 2 years in Delaware Beach, also kept on kitesurfing and working on our business until my mother got sick. I had to move to Israel and take care of her. So I was her mother for 6 months. I took care of her, and that broke up our relationship. And I left my business behind, and my ex-husband, we got divorced. I moved to Israel. Okay, I'm shortening the chapters. And then I've been flying all the time. I was like an influencer in Israel. So I was sent to Maldives to dive with sharks. I was a diver too. I'm diving to very deep heights. And I don't know if you say deep heights, but deep lows. And so I've been traveling a lot to Finland, to Maldives, to Palau, to so many things, to Europe, to different places. And then I established a college, I sold it, I established other things. I was traveling a lot. And then I met my husband, my current husband, and forever husband, hopefully. And then we moved together to LA until 2016 and rebuild ourselves together. That's where we are today. So today I started from scratch over there in here when I knew no one, and I didn't have my company, and I built my social lady company when we moved here. And he was supposed to start a business that never. He was supposed to start a venture with another company, and when we moved here, it never happened. So he started from scratch as well. But today he's a private chef for A-lists and celebrities. A lot of names that you know, and he owns 2 restaurants in LA, and does a lot of. He's my private chef, and then he cooks to others too, and that's it. So we just roll in LA now, traveling a lot still, and children don't stop us. We keep on travel, but yeah, it's it's all about choices, like decisions, or choose how you choose to live your life, and it's all in the state of mind at the end of the day. So that's my traveling adventures.
Yeah, you've had quite a life, and there's so much more to go. I wonder. Yeah, I'm curious for you if you're going to stay in LA. I mean, how nice is it to have a chef as a husband? maybe
it's the best. I always say, you know what? I dated. I was married to 2 guys before, and I dated guys before, and I'm telling you that don't go with a jet, don't go with a yacht, go with a chef. This is like the best. But I'm telling you, it's and then the yacht and the jet will come after. If it's a good guy and you build together, then it's coming, together. But it's amazing to build together, and with a guy who actually loves to cook at home. He would come after 130 people event he would throw for a client. He would come home later at night and make us a huge pile of dish for the whole week, so to make sure that we have dinner. He makes lunch to bring me to my office, or it's just is this type of guy as well. So,
and how does he know much about Web3? Like, I guess, do you talk to him about it? What's his involvement? Does he ever think about using it with his businesses and incorporating it somehow?
So, first of all, Web3, it's part of our house. Twitter Spaces. When I started in Web3, I was all the time on Twitter on the Spaces. So he knows on Clubhouse and Spaces. So he's aware of everything. He's very big supporter, but he's not very techy, and he's very busy with what he does, and he's more of an artist creating food, and and he's a host, and he's amazing, and I think he would rock and roll on Web3, but he's not involved in Web3. He has a wallet. We even purchased for him one NFT, and I don't remember something. I don't remember actually what is it, but his involvement is that we are hosting a lot of events in the restaurants for NFT OGs, and also for women in Web3. We're hosting a lot of, I host basically, but he was the one who cooks for everyone. And but that's his involvement, I guess. People know him from the space, from those events, and from being married to me, I guess.
I think I know who our next WoW LA meetup caterer is.
Definitely. We have to come to us.
Oh, for sure. How was your experience at the meetup in LA over the weekend? Tell us what the theme was, because a lot of us weren't able to attend, right? Walk us through that entire experience.
First of all, you have Sean. He's amazing. He's a sweetheart, and he's throwing great events. The event was wonderful. I mean, I came in and I saw on the screens you had huge NFTs, World of Women NFTs displayed. And it was so beautiful to see. Great people, great environment, a fun theme. You had a place where you can paint on this type of a huge canvas. So it was also fun. A lot of friends, a lot of good music. There was a DJ, a woman DJ, which I vibed immediately with her because I love DJs and I love music. And yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a very good event. All the events, World of Women, I'm trying not to miss. And I had another 2 events that evening. And I'm telling you, I'm not that wild. I'm not that all the time in events. But at this evening, I had 3 events. And those 3 events, I didn't want to miss the World of Women. It was the other side of the world for me to go there. But I did. I went to the event, and then I went to the other event on the other side of the world, of the city. And then I went to the 3rd event, which at night, that we planned to be until 4 a.m. But of course, I went to sleep at midnight to all the parents tired, but it was fun. It was fun event, the World of Women one.
I'm really glad to hear that, and yeah, shout out to Sean. He's been amazing for the LA community, a true connector, I would say, in terms of just making these meetups happen. Tell me a little bit about, like, it seems like you really know your way around and within Los Angeles now. Tell me what it was like for you to move from growing up in Israel to having this life in Los Angeles. How How has the transition been for you, and how do you feel oftentimes when you recall your childhood?
Well, tell you what, for me, my life is full of chapters. So every chapter that I'm going into, every new chapter, I'm also a new Tal. It's a whole new me. I'm growing with life. I'm growing with the technology. I'm growing with the years, as we all do, of course. But I think that living in Los Angeles is wonderful, but at the same time, it was wonderful for me to live in the Caribbean island. And it was wonderful for me to live in New York or to live in Florida or to live or to travel everywhere or to live in Israel, of course. And every time that I lived somewhere, I also enjoyed my life. I mean, I loved living in the island with the guy I was, with the business I had, and I love living now with the guy I have and with the business I have, like with my current life. Every chapter has its own unique moments for me, and so I can't say, yeah, LA is different or LA is much better or less good than what I've been through, because every chapter I was different and everything was different. So for me, LA is amazing. But it doesn't mean that I will live here forever. And maybe yes, I'm not planning really. I'm not like, oh, I'm planning to be here for 2 years and then move somewhere else. No, I'm just go with the flow. Life is full of surprises. We even didn't know we're going to end up here for so long, and we actually put deep roots here. But I was in Dubai a week ago and I got an offer to do something very exciting there. And maybe Yoav also to do with his restaurants. So you never know. I mean, Costa Rica is one of our dreams. Thailand, we already spotted a place where we can open something. So it's like, the world is big. Actually, the world is very small. And we not trying to cover as many places, but we are experiencing places. And I create my environment. It's not the opposite. So it doesn't matter where I am. I create what's happening around me. I create my feelings and I create my reality. And therefore, I am happy wherever I am as much as I can.
I love that. My next question for you was going to be, okay, what's been constant through all these other chapters of your life? And I'm guessing that it is your sense of self. You've always known who you are and that you're in control. But has there been any other common theme through your whole journey?
There is one thing that drives me in life, and it's one word, very simple. That's freedom. And freedom is a state of mind. It's not about living in an island. I am free when I'm here stuck in the office, and I'm free when I'm when I'm changing my kids' poo-poo. And it's all about your state of mind. So if you are free in your mind, you are happy everywhere that you are. And I believe that also sense of independency, to be independent, not to be dependent on anyone else, know how to support yourself financially. And there are so many ways. It's 2023. Everyone can support themselves financially. There's so many hustles you can do, so many ways to make money. It's endless. I mean, there's no reason to be dependent on anyone else. And unless, for God be, there's someone sick or something, but it's a different scenario. But I'm saying most of us are able to support themselves. And I think this is the basic for everything that I have in life. For me, it's the main thing is always to be independent, always to have my own income, not to be since a very young age, and also to have a goal to be free. My goal is not to make money. My goal is to enjoy the journey and do what I'm passionate about. And that's why I'm changing so many times, because life is changing and technology is changing, and my passions are changing and my feelings are changing, and I'm changing with them. I'm not staying at the same place. I'm transferring myself with what I feel that is right to do. If that answer the questions.
Yeah, that's nice. That's really profound in a way, because people, equate freedom to so many different things, like money equals freedom, time equals freedom. For you, it's independence equals freedom. So I love that. And do you mind telling us a little bit more about Social Lady, your business?
Or about WIN, about the nonprofit for the women? Well, first of all, Social Lady is a digital marketing agency that I established in 2016. And I've been working with companies, organizations, big and small and medium as well, to transfer their online, their business to the online world, and helping them build their presence online, building themselves funnels, email listings, everything related to marketing strategy for their businesses. I've been doing it since 2016. I've been doing it for 17 years, but since 2016, I established Social Lady. And when 2021 started, I also shifted a lot to Web3. So I've been doing marketing for some companies and advisory. I'm sitting on some boards. I have some equity in some companies that are dealing with Web3 technology and with the blockchain in general, not just NFTs. Very interesting things that we're building. But besides that, we also have a program to help and support entrepreneurs. I'm taking them 10 weeks of studying. We do like a program of 10 weeks meetings where I teach and consult and walk with them hand by hand on building their online businesses and presence. There's so many amazing tools out there that people don't even know about. And I'm happy to always share it. And we also have a club for those who are want to learn more, etc. But let me tell you about my real passion, which is Win, of course. So as I said, I'm always doing what I'm passionate about. And 9 months ago, I founded Win, Women in Need, Win Web3, basically. That's the name. And it's a nonprofit that 100% goes to the women's benefit. And it's helping women through the blockchain. What that means, there are women in war zones like Ukraine or Syria or different places where they're in the middle of war, and also women in daily war, like poverty, sex trafficking, violence, who are not able to finance themselves and not able to create their own financial resources for their children or families. And I am here to support them by having them creating any type of art. Could be sculpture, could be painting, could be a photograph, whatever they are able to do. And they are sending me these arts. Right now, they're sending it to me. We're going to create tools for them to upload themselves. But right now, they're sending me the physical art. I am taking pictures of them and I am uploading them on the blockchain and selling it for them. And all the profits goes back to them, basically, to their charities, but it's to them. And also we work with, so first of all, that empowers them to feel that they are working and not only, creating art for fun, but actually having financing themselves and their families by themselves. And also giving them financial support, of course, as much as possible. And we have artists that are donating art, that are giving art for the cause. And we have amazing artists, like we have big names. I don't want to name drop here, but you can see them all on our website. They're amazing people, very known in the Web3 space. And by the way, we work a lot with artists that are not from Web3 space, just artists who want to donate art. And the magic is also, we have also an umbrella for stories, like a place for women to share their stories, to share what they've been through. So we have a lot of women who have created videos and talked about what they've been through, to bring them awareness, to bring their voice to the front, their face, to give them a place to be heard. And also with time, we want to create kind of a mentorship opportunity for those women through our platform. We're also building now a fund for girls to be able to help them to go to school. And we are creating educational centers, so many things. I want to create a fashion line for from women that creating clothing in India or different places that I'm dreaming to do it as well. By the way, on NFT LA, we're going to have a fashion show for women with wearing the art with QR codes. People can actually buy the art in the fashion show, and they're going to walk around the event, and we have a panel, so many things. And I have an event for launching. We're launching the marketplace next month. So many things anyway, but I also want to give back to the artists. So we're creating a token for artists who are donating or donors. And everyone we will donate a minimum amount of XYZ is going to win things for that. So it's not only the women are winning, but also the artists. So we keep the ecosystem healthy and sustainable, and everyone's winning in win. That's more or less the win.
I have
Yes.
one word, and that's genius. I love it. I love that we talk about vicious cycles a lot, but I think what you're creating here is like a cycle of positivity and a cycle where everyone gets to win. Like every party involved is given the opportunity to thrive. And that's super, super important. And it's very Tal. It's very much everything that we've discussed in this show, podcast, whatever it is you want to call it. And I'm grateful that you came on and just adore simply everything that you do. My last question to everyone who comes on Wow Wednesday is, what is the one message that they want to leave with the Wow community? And I would love to know what that is for you.
Well, one message: believe in yourself, believe in who you are. Don't look around, don't compare yourself. Be positive, be compassionate, be true, accept the other. So many messages I have, and it's all just from the bottom of my heart. I mean, I'm tearing up when I'm saying those messages, although they sound so cliches, like everyone says them, but it's so true, and I wish people would actually live by them, because the world will look better, and our future of our children will look better. And try not to burn out yourself on Twitter Spaces and in too much stress in general. And I'm just saying Twitter Spaces, but it's just an example for a place where people, might be very stressful to be there all day. But in life in general, make sure that you are nurturing yourself and nurturing your mind and your body with positive things. Surround yourself with good people that lifting you up, and try to not to watch the news too much. That's really the main thing that leads me. I don't watch the news too much. The only thing I do is I couldn't stop watching what happened in Turkey and Syria, of course, but I can't stop thinking about it. But literally, there's nothing good in news. Just focus on your dreams, focus on your family, focus on your loved ones, focus on yourself, and everyone can make their dreams come true. You just need to actually take an action and do it.
I love it. I like that you stand for being an idealistic person, but also follow it up with hard work. Like you've got to work for whatever it is that you want. And you've been hustling since what, 2001? I wasn't even born in 2001, but you've been at it since then. So huge respect again. Thank you to everyone who tuned into the space.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your story, Tal, and for using the power of blockchain to change so many women's lives.
Thank you so much for having me. You ladies are rock, and thanks for being exist, World of Women. We love you all.
We love you too, Tal. And thank you for listening in. I will see you all next Wednesday.